If you lost the physical phone itself, aside from searching for it, how would you go about finding this? How should I go about finding your phone?
I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, I knew specifically where it was. I mean, my last recollection of me having it was at Universal, but I knew that I had also been at J. Blanchard Park, and I could have potentially had it there with me too. I don't know if you guys have checked through like some of the bags and stuff that I have at the house, if maybe it was in one of those purses, but I know I kept everything that I had kind of centralized at Tony.
So on the blackjack, do you remember the phone number that blackjack was associated with?
It was my same number. I just swapped the SIM card back and forth.
Okay. Here's the thing, how these things work, Casey.
Yeah.
The contact information, the contact stuff, is on your SIM card. So if you switch
it doesn't
back
always save to the SIM card. You can sometimes save things to the SIM card or save it specifically to the phone. It just depends on the way the phone's set up. I thought about that too. The phone that I'm currently using, or I guess that the police still have, or if you guys have it, I had set it up after the fact to just save things to my SIM card. But you can also save it to just the phone or to the SIM card and the phone, so there's copies on both.
What? Where is the mysterious phone? Maybe it's at Universal Studios. It could be at the J. Blanchard Park. Wait, no. It's in the bag at Tony's house. No. It fell out of the bag. No, it fell out of her pocket, but maybe it was her purse. The mysterious phone. The Tot Mom's inconsistencies. Phone records reveal she never received a phone call from the babysitter. The search warrant reveals no phone number belonging to Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez on Tot Mom's cell phone. It goes on and on and on, but nevertheless, grandmother Cindy Anthony is taking on the phone company, saying they're the ones that are mistaken. We are taking your calls live. I want to go quickly back out to the lines to Patty in Wisconsin. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Nancy. How you doing?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
Just to get your take on this. I was raised by a fireman. We have lots of cops and firemen in our family, and even if they're retired, they're still cops and firemen. It's in their blood. And the mom said something that I thought was very interesting the other day. She said, please leave her husband alone. She doesn't want to lose her husband. And I wonder, he hasn't been really forthcoming in anything. He's been very quiet, and he had that kind of burst of emotion the other day. And I was wondering if maybe the cop in him is really starting to question things, and because Casey and her mother, to me, in my opinion, have kind of the same behavior. And I'm wondering if that's
I noticed, Patty in Wisconsin, that the only one that was making any real sense was the grandfather. And you're right. Once you're a cop or a fire person or a prosecutor, it's in your blood. It's hard to get it out. You can't just wash that out. Let's go to Dr. Lisa Boeski, psychologist and author. Dr. Lisa, thank you for being with us. What do you make of it? The other day, George Anthony, the grandfather, had a little bit of an outburst. I don't really blame him. This is around the time of Kaylee's third birthday, what would have been her third birthday. What do you make of it?
I thought it was fabulous. That's the first normal thing I've seen in this family. I think that hysterical 911 call of the grandmother and this outburst were the first time we actually saw real, true emotion that real people would be going through if their daughter was in jail and their granddaughter was missing. I think it's all catching up to him, and I think we need to see more of that. Otherwise, we should be very suspicious.
And what do you make of Casey Anthony turning down her own family that have traveled all the way to the jail to see her, not once, but now 3 times, and the brother, Lee Anthony, set to visit tomorrow?
I think 2 things are going on. I think, number 1, she is stonewalling. The investigators have been meeting with her family. They have more information. They have more questions. She doesn't want to answer those. But I think, number 2, I think she wants to stick it to them a little. She could have let them know, I'm not going to be taking your visits anymore. But I think she let them come down there and let them expect it, because I'm not sure she's so happy about what they're saying to the media. They're really driving this case in the media, and I bet she wants them to shut up and stay home.
Joining us tonight is Gail St. John, psychic team leader for The Body Hunter, searching for Kaylee Anthony. She says locals have called her down to help look for the little girl. Miss St. John, what clues have you relied on so far in your search?
Well, I mean, we've pretty much been following the, you know, media things as well, but, I mean, we've come up with our own things as well. Being, you know, from a psychic group, yes, we've seen visions, we've seen things. And
like what?
Well, you know, I can't be real specific. I don't want to give areas away, but I can tell you one thing.
I mean, what do you mean? What's there to give away? If Caylee Anthony is dead, I mean, what can you tell me? She's buried, she's in water, she's been put in a trash dump, she's been cremated. Well, I mean, what are you going to give away?
Well, our site is public. I mean, anybody can access and see what we've said.
Well, can you answer me?
Yes, the flowers is one thing that we've seen, like look like appeared to be wildflowers. A grassy area. There was also a wooded area that was seen in the background. So a wooded area. So we're concerned with that, looking for that, finding the very specific things that we saw. So the area fits, and we've been taking the dogs in, of course, all areas. Like I said, we're not going to leave any stone unturned, whether we feel it's there or it matches what we've seen. We're going to make sure we take the dogs in all areas.
And what do you say to those that are non-believers?
Well, I mean, certainly everybody has the right to their own opinion, and that's fine. But, you know, I'm the mother of 4 children, and I have 2 grandchildren. I'd use any tool I could to find my missing children or grandchildren.
Welcome back. We're taking your calls live out to Kate in Pennsylvania. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Nancy. My husband and I love you, love your show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for calling in. What's your question, dear?
Well, I'm wondering, as we're watching this play out in this cat and mouse game Casey seems to be playing behind bars, I agree with your one expert. It seems like these are all stall tactics, and I can't help but wonder if she's not doing this knowing full well that if and when this poor little baby's body would be found, that the evidence to determine cause of death would be so degraded or nearly impossible to determine. I can't help but think of the Chandra Levy case. You can't determine death, the cause of death after a certain period.
Kate in Pennsylvania, you're absolutely correct. Back to Dr. Lisa Boesky, psychologist and author. Dr. Lisa, you know, I noticed that when she told cops she still worked at Universal, she went all the way to Universal, went through the guard stand, got out of the car, walked all the way down the hall, and then says, you know what, I don't work here anymore, I was fired. She'll take it all the way until the very bitter end. Is that what she's doing now?
That's exactly what it appears she's doing now. This is not uncommon among people who are what we call antisocial, especially if they're what we call narcissistic, which means they will go on and on and on and take it to the very end. It's just like a 2-year-old who spills something, and you say, who spilled that? They say, I didn't do it. You can show them all the evidence in the world, but in their mind, they think they can fool everyone. And I think right now she thinks she's going to win, and in the end, she won't.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Brother Lee Anthony set for a jailhouse visit. So far, Casey Anthony turning away her own family. Why? Let's stop and remember. Army Private First Class Andrew Habseger, 22, Festus, Missouri, killed Iraq. Devoted to family, friends, country, gave 110% to everything he did, said to become a godfather when he lost his life. With a smile that lit up her room, loved football, animals, leaves behind parents Michael and Brenda, brother Jacob, also serving the Army. Andrew Habseger, American hero. Thanks to our guests, but especially to you for being with us. I'll see you tomorrow night.